Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 803. My name is Christine, and on today's episode I'm showing you the Tim Holtz Ideaology mirrored paper. Today I'm showing you these mirrored sheets from Tim Holtz through Ideaology. In a package you get 2 of these sheets, and it's not just a mirrored paper like there used to be a mirrored cardstock available. It's thicker, there's an adhesive on it so it sticks, and you can see it's a lot thicker. And there's a protective coating on it right now, and you want to leave that protective coating on until after you're finished working with it or cutting it or whatever. Otherwise you get your fingerprints and the other stuff on it. So that protective coating's there, and it's just a film that gets peeled off once you're ready to peel it off. So I used it a few ways. First, I made this tag and I cut it out. The heart and the wings are the mirrored paper. Now, if you're wanting to cut with your dies, you have to use the thick steel rule dies from Sizzix. The thin dies, you'll get the outline of the shape, but it won't cut through this material. It's too hard. But the steel rule dies will cut through it, no problem. So I cut this out, and I did 2 things to show you here. I left the heart plain so you can see how reflective, you can see my finger probably in there, how reflective the mirror is. But then I covered this with red alcohol ink to show you that if you do use alcohol ink on it, you no longer get that reflective quality of the surface. The alcohol ink will cover it up. So there you can see the difference. You have just pure mirror and then alcohol inked mirror. Then here on this tag, I cut my butterflies out and then I embossed them with a regular plastic embossing folder. The butterflies and the folder are both from Tim Holtz through Sizzix. So this mirrored paper can also be embossed, which you can do some really fun things with it. I like to cut first, then emboss, because sometimes I think if I emboss first and then cut, some of my embossing might get squished a bit. Whether that's true or not, I'm not exactly sure. But I like to cut, then emboss. And then on this third tag here, I cut the hearts, but I wanted to find if I could make that sort of vintage antiqued mirror look using alcohol inks. So I sort of like the way it ended up, and I'm going to show you how I achieved that look. So I have my heart here that I cut out. And the film is still on, so since I'm going to use it now, I'm going to peel off my film. Just find a little corner to do that. Here we go. So you can see how nice and shiny now that mirrored image is. I am starting with this Snow Cap alcohol ink fixative. And I put that down because then when I put colors on top of it, you'll see them a bit more. And this also gives you that sort of foggy look on the mirror. So I'm putting a little bit, and I'm going to put it on the edge. Ooh, that's probably too much, but I'm putting it on the edge just so I can play around with it just on the edge. And I like to just cap my bottles as I go. So depending on how much you want, I'm just sort of putting it around my heart. Like that. And then I want to let it dry. I'm just going to give it a quick dry. I want the next color to show up, so I just want it to dry it a bit. I didn't want it to blend too much. And next I have Lake Mist. This is part of the Lights series. And this time I'm just going to put it on a felt piece and do it by hand because I'm working in such a small surface here. I don't want it to be all over. So just by doing that, And I'm more putting it around the edge and it's sort of bleeding out a bit. Now, if the white is too thick, what I also sometimes do at this point is grab my blending solution. I had it still over there. I hadn't grabbed it yet. So my blending solution. And I'm going to also just put it, I can use this same felt piece. I just want a little bit on there. And then I can put it over the white and it just will soften that edge a bit. And then it will also, you see it comes out like it gives that sort of fogged look to it. So if you're working on a small piece, this technique might be a little harder because a lot of the mirror gets a little covered. But you can sort of see how it pushed it in and just fogged those edges like you would see on a mirrored piece. So I want to just let this dry again. I'll see if my heat will help dry it a bit. Now for the last bit is I want to add in just a little bit of those black specks that you sometimes see. So I have this stipple brush that I've had forever. I'm not sure exactly where I got it, but I like that it has these edges to it because you can see I used a bit here. I just want a few little specks because I'm working on such a small surface. And for this I'm using pitch black. I'm putting it right on my craft sheet. And then I pick it up with the edges and I dab a bit because I just want, see that's too much. That's what I didn't want. I just want those specks. But with that too much one, I can just try and blend it out. And then I can go over that with a bit of white after, just to blend it out. You want just that really fine, those really fine specks. I keep getting the thick ones, so there you can see a few of those fine specks. I can work out these black by putting more of the white over it. See that white? So there you have it. If you do it and you're not happy with it at all, you can take your alcohol solution and wipe off most of it and start again. But it's another fun way to use the mirror to try to give it that vintagey mirrored effect you might see when you're visiting some antique stores. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm going to be showing you some new washi tape from Love My Tapes. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.